Morning, everybody. If you had been on the coast of England on this date, September 28, in 1066, you would have seen a fleet of ships coming from Normandy, the region in France that abuts the English Channel, led by William, known as William the Conqueror. A few days later will be the battle in which he defeats Harold of England, the Battle of Hastings. Part of northern France is known as Normandy. The word Norman comes from the word Northman, name given to the Vikings who settled here in the 900s and who absorbed some of the local customs. So Edward the Confessor died in 1066 without an heir, and if you look at this family tree, his name is at the bottom. You'll notice his dad is English, but his mom, Emma, is from Normandy, and this is one of the reasons why William of Normandy is claiming the English throne. Another claimant is Harold. He was a rich guy, and he claimed the throne and immediately was up north fighting a battle of Stamford Bridge. Harold was fighting a rival, so that meant when William landed in England, much of the English army was still up north. And here's William's route. Follow the red arrows. You can see he came from Normandy and landed at Pevensey, England on this date, September 28, 1066. The Battle of Hastings, of course, will be nearby, and this is Pevensey Castle. Now, the original structure William had built was wooden, but it was replaced with this one, and you can visit it today. So here's the Battle of Hastings. It happened a little bit later. You can see the troops lined up here. It was a big win for William. Harold was killed, and the Normans started to administer England. And one of the first things William did was order this book to be written. It's basically a census of England and a description of the towns and cities and so on, known as the Domesday Book or the Domesday Book, but it's a great historical record of what England was like in the 11th century. The White Tower in London, part of the Tower of London, was built by William the Conqueror. And that style is known as Norman, thick walls and little windows. Here's another castle in England called Colchester. It's the largest surviving Norman keep in England, and it's the first stone castle William ordered to be built. Now this one is really cool. It's Corfe, or Corfe, I guess, but this was actually founded by William shortly after his arrival. So we know he directly ordered this one to be built. Now here's another fort. It's called Old Sarum. It goes back to the Iron Age. It was a hill fort when the Romans were there. Motte means hill, baily means courtyard. And another legacy of this is the English language starts to have French words. And here's a list of French words that we also use in English. So this is a big part of this story, how French vocabulary becomes part of English. And this chart reminds us that English has a lot that contributed to it. Some of it's Germanic, some of it's Latin, and some of it is French. And another reminder of the French influence is the Royal Coat of Arms of the UK still features the French motto, which in English means God and my right. Now, the Bayeux Tapestry pictured here was made soon after the Battle of Hastings. It was done to commemorate William's win. And it's this wonderful thing you can see in Bayeux, France. And part of its sections reveal what life was like in the 11th century. For instance, here you see people making the boats that are going to go across the English Channel. So you see the tools and the techniques. Here you see William the Conqueror with his soldiers. Some people call the Bayeux Tapestry propaganda for William. But there are cool images of soldiers and things. And this is the panel that shows the death of Harold. So in Latin, you can see the phrase here, Harold the king is killed. Even though we're not sure exactly how Harold died, but it is in the Bayeux Tapestry. Years ago, Dorothy and I were in Normandy looking at the D-Day beaches, and we came to Honfleur, where William took off from as he was ready to invade England. So if you go there, go to Hastings. Here's an aerial view of the battlefield. It's basically where that ruined abbey is. Reflect on the battle and the power of the French and French culture in England.